I created an extra sprite, and now it's slow. Thank you.
Okay, so what I have done is I have set up a bombs explosion. Because one thing that you have to pay attention to in Link to the Past, you see the map right here, how it's got these squares, right? And then inside each of those squares, there are, you know, rooms. The trick is that each room itself is a tile, and then the larger square that contains those tiles is called a super tile. The super tile is a 2x2 normal tile with it's a 5x5 super tile grid for each floor. What is happening on a singular super tile persists between rooms of that super tile. So I have placed a bomb next to that crystal switch, right? I have let the bomb explode, and in the bomb's animation, I have left the room to the room south of it. So now, what you want to do is you want to position yourself here, flush against this railing right there. Flush against this railing, but facing to the right, right? You have to place the Somaria block far enough so there is a little bit of, so there is at least a little bit of space in terms of like distance of the block's edge to the edge of the rail. You see that? See what I mean? So now what you're going to do is you're going to jump into the water and then immediately hold down and right. So you know you've done it right. There you go. You know this has worked when, as you have jumped out of the water, you are not centered in the staircase, right? So normally when you get out of the water, you're kind of centered right there. So instead, what I'm doing is I'm going into the water, holding down right instantly to clip essentially into the railing. I'm just slightly onto the rail right here. So now what you're gonna do is hold out your sword, because what this does is it stops you from being able to push the block with your sword out. So now I'm gonna wiggle up and right just a little bit. I'll do that one more time. Oops. If you push the block to be flush against the railing, you're going to have to do it again. But you want to wiggle your thumb kind of between up, right, and down. Because you want to kind of wedge yourself between the block and the rail. God! And there you go. So now I have clipped onto essentially the wrong layer. I've bypassed the jump, like the jumping off point for the top layer. Notice that the arrow is colliding with the like bottom step right there. I'm on the wrong layer, which I have water. Water is supposed to be right here, right? But I'm underneath it, technically, which allows me to go into this doorway. Normally, I wouldn't be able to because the water is blocking me and there is no diving in this game. And you'll notice that as soon as I came up into this room, remember that explosion from earlier? That explosion was still queued. Now you might be wondering, wait, how is that possible? How did you queue an explosion? Remember when I talked about Supertiles and how actions and enemies and sprites and things like that persist between tiles inside the Supertile? This right here is a 2x2, it's a 2x1 tile with another 2x1 tile directly beneath it. That is this Supertile. You see how on this map here, it's showing that like there's more than one room in this square here? But because I placed a bomb up there before leaving, I queue up the explosion that's still happening in this Supertile and then come around. And as I come into this screen again, the explosion was still there. It hits the switch, even though the sprite is gone. So it flips the switches. You get the key and you come back. And now that I have left the tile down below and I'm at the point where this layer checks to see if I can jump off into water, now I can jump into water. And it works the same way back here. Lever hook dash, I think it's what it's called. The same can be done right here. So it's the same way with the Somaria block of you want to be flush against this rail, walk a little bit past it, place, just like that. Now normally what you're supposed, I can actually demonstrate. So normally you can't go into this door while the water has risen. You're supposed to go one room above, like one room above on this super tile. You drain the water and these chests become available. But because Diver Down lets you clip onto the wrong layer, so now I'm interacting with this stuff while technically being underneath the water. And I can leave the room. There's where you normally drain the water here, and it affects the water down below as well. But there's also another method that you might have seen me do. So I've shown you the Somaria block method. There's also a method for using bombs to do the same thing. This is a bit trickier because it's not as flush and easily done. It's still kind of easily done, but one, it involves a timer, and two, it involves pixel precision. So you need to place the bomb at a specific altitude, like a particular y-axis. The y-axis is, notice that there is a single pixel space between this the grout of the tile right here and Link's shadow. Make sense? You want one singular pixel of space between that. Your shadow remains always the same. Link's shadow, regardless of your sprite, will never change shape. And that's why learning tricks by shadow positioning is always better. So we here have one space between the grout and the shadow, right? One singular pixel. That's the easy part. The hard part is you have to do the same maneuver of jumping in the water and downright clipping out of the water onto the railing before the bomb explodes. So you place the bomb to the left of you, and there you go. The bomb has blown you onto the railing, and then you just hold left up and you can jump down. There you go. It doesn't work if you you want to be able to jump kind of just on the edge of the rail. This is where I am clipped just onto the edge of the rail because of the way that Super Nintendos work. Left up, and there you go. Same thing can be done from the water right here as well. So once again, bomb, explosion. This room is a bit trickier because of the fire snake, but it amounts to the same thing. So we've got one space between the grout and the shadow. You need to be just to the left of the center of the stairs by even just a little bit. And it's the same thing. Up left, and there you go. Explosion triggers that thing. And there you go. Swim across. And now you can get both treasure chests on the left side. That's Diver Down for you.